Well, we'll get started. Oh, yeah. Good graduation. Good. Well, I know you guys, nobody ever believes me, but my mat is the only thing that's on that screen, but everyone's always so far in the back. Well, let's just settle in. So I don't really have a theme today other than being present. So close your eyes and take a moment to just find your breath. And notice the texture of your breath. Try and smooth it out a bit. Sometimes we get a little anxious in the morning, trying to get everything done, get out the door, all those things. Just calm it down. And then just see how long the inhalation takes. You can count the seconds. And then how long the exhalation takes. And then try and even that out as well. When we live right here in the present moment, we can find a lot more enjoyment in life rather than worrying about what's going to happen next or what happened in the past. And I feel like if we are truly living in the present, then we feel more in control. Now just feel your spine. We're going to work on lengthening today and really working on a nice long spine. So feel it and see if you can lengthen it a bit on the inhalation and keep it nice and long on the exhalation. And then please bring hands to heart center. May we always remember to pay attention to the present, what we're doing right now. There's much more joy and beauty and grace that we can find if we're living right now. And then please lower your hands, open your eyes. And don't you worry about little noises. It's all enjoyable to all of us. So please find that long spine and stretch your arms up and interlace your hands. You can press the palms up for a moment. Feel long side body. Good. And then press the palms down again and just lower them to the top of your head. And don't press down. Let's see if you can lengthen up into the hands. So feel like the head's going to press up into the hands. And then reach around to the back and cup the back of your head and press again. So head into hands. Feel a lengthening in your neck. It's not like, it's not like you're trying to dip your chin. You're just trying to, or lift your chin. You're just trying to feel connection. Just notice if you feel it in your belly when you do that. Good, now keep all that. Stretch your arms up again. And then bring your right hand off to the side and arc. And then inhale, come back to center and arc to your left. And on your next inhale, come back to center. Now just twist to your right, and you can bring your hands down. Kind of feel a little bit of a placement, but you feel the nice long spine. You don't have to twist so deep. I just want you to really notice the long spine and then how it helps you to stretch your legs. And then come on back to center, stretch your arms up and twist the other direction. And come on back to center. It makes me smile. And keep that long spine, but fold forward. You can just bring your hands where it feels like a nice stretch in your hips. You can lower down further if you want. It's wherever it feels good. And then come on back up. Now just stretch your legs long. Yeah, that feels this morning. Bend your right knee, bring the ankle across. Feel the sits bones grounded. You should feel this in your hip, not your knee. So if you keep your foot active, that'll help. Stretch your arms up again to feel that nice long spine. You can even check, yeah, am I there? And then fold forward. Just bring your hands where it feels not too intense on your hamstring. A little hip opener to get us warm. And then come on up. Stretch that leg long and switch. So hinge the knee, bring it across. Take a moment to feel grounded and tall. You can stretch the arms up. And then wherever it feels like a good stretch for you. Sometimes the hips, the limiting factor, sometimes the hamstrings are the limiting factor. Just notice and appreciate. Good, and then come on up. You can stretch the arms up. Stretch both legs straight and fold. Wherever it feels good. Keep the hip creases back. And then come on up. Oh, that felt good already. Come on to all fours. I weeded in the garden for like 4 hours yesterday. So find that long spine feeling here. So see if maybe you need to engage the core a little bit more, draw the low belly up, lengthen through the top of the head, long back of neck. And then just start to move through cow and cat. So when you lengthen first and then you arc, it feels really good. Just notice. You can work fast or slow, whatever feels good for you today. Do one more round. And then pause with the flat back. Feel that connection again. Feel really long through the top of your head. Sometimes we get sloppy there, you know. So I want you to keep that. Extend just your right leg. And then bend the knee and flex the foot so that the foot's pointing up towards the ceiling. May not be able to tell exactly where it's at because you can't see it, but feel that. You feel the hamstring engage, the glutes engage, but the spine's still nice and long. And then just start to move the knee up and down, just pulse it up and down to really work the hamstring and the glute and your core. Draw your low belly up. Feel work all across the back of the leg, hopefully, and in the glute. See if you can do 10 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pause, extend the leg again. Check your core and your length, and then add the left arm. Yeah. And then bring the left hand down. Place the right ball of the foot down. And then just stretch through the quad or the gastrocnemius calf a few times. And then pause, bend the knee again and snug it in behind so it comes to the opposite side. And you can widen your feet a little bit. We're not going real deep here. And then just kind of walk your hands back for another little hip opener. Hopefully it feels good on your knees. This is Gomukhasana or cow face pose. Good, and then come back forward, unwind. My hands move, so I have to set up again. Feel the long spine first. Extend the left leg. See where you need to engage. Sometimes I tend to arc my low back. I want you to think, I'm going to stay really nice and strong. Bend the knee, flex the foot. And then when you're ready, start to do those little pulsations up and down. Notice if you get sloppy, hug your right hip in to keep you strong. One side always feels a little different for me. I don't know if it does for you. I have strength more on my right side than my left. I have to talk to myself. Come on, keep it going. See if you can do 10 more. 2, 1. Stop. Recheck your core. Extend the leg. Add the right arm. How long can you feel? Bring your right hand down. Bring the left ball of the foot down and just stretch through the calf a few times. Good, and then lift the left leg, bend the knee, snug it in behind the right knee. Might have to move your hands, widen the feet if you need to, and sit back. Just stretch out. Oops. I like to keep my toes curled under just because of my ankle, but you can do whatever feels good for you. And then come on out. Go ahead and take a child's pose now. So stretch the toes long. Just let your hands and wrists rest for a moment. And remember to stay present even in a resting pose. Just notice how your belly moves as you breathe. Notice how your hamstrings and glutes feel now that you're able to stretch them out a little bit. And then go ahead and stretch your hands long. Ground them down though, just to feel that length. And then come forward and transition up to downward facing dog. And just walk out your dogs. And come forward to a plank pose. And you can lower knees. See if you can find that long spine feeling here, really connected, even in the back of the neck. You can lower your knees to lower down or just lower down to the mat. Stretch your feet long, stretch your arms long. And just take a moment to think of building a long spine before you do anything else. Feel connection. And then think long side body, lift the head of the arm bones away from the mat. So the shoulder blades are on the back, and then broaden the clavicles, and then lift the head, lift the shoulders, lift the arms, maybe lift the feet. If it feels good. Shalabhasana, and try and breathe through that, stay present through that, stay long through that, long through the top of the head. If you do that, you'll engage your core more. One more breath and lower down. Let the shoulders kind of drop forward. You can turn your head to one side or the other if you need to or want to. Because we're going to do Shalabhasana again. And this time I'm going to give you the option of interlacing your hands. So think long side body, head of the arm bones lift, shoulder blades lift, arms lift, interlace the hands, knuckles facing your feet, and then lift on up. You can lift the feet if you want. Maybe turn one way and the other just to feel a little more stretch in your shoulders. And then release down. Bring your hands by your chest and lift up to cobra. Should feel like a welcome relief. Cobra's evolved for me a lot. Now I just think of really lengthening my spine and feeling a nice stretch. And then lower down and push back to all fours. And I'm going to use blocks under my hands here. You don't have to if you don't want. We're going to humble pose. So you decide, and step your right foot to the outside of the right block. And then just kind of take a moment to feel like everything's centered. Long spine here. Maybe widen the knee a little bit. And then if you want to, you can lower to your elbows. Just staying present, notice the sensations. Is there anything you can do to enhance the stretch that make it feel deep, but yet good, right? That's always the goal. I say this is a back bending class today, but it's also a really good hip opener class too. 2 more breaths. I always feel more sensation when I breathe in deep. Good. Come back up on your hands. Swing that knee back around and switch. Left foot forward. Really ground it down. Make sure the toes point the same direction as your kneecaps. Lengthen long here and then maybe dive into it. Long spine. Good. And then unwind. Swing that knee around and you can bring the blocks just a little wider. Come up to down dog. And then very carefully walk your hands back to your feet for a forward fold. Notice your feet, your legs. You can do whatever feels good here to just really appreciate this pose. Lengthen your spine even here. You bend your knees a little more, you can feel that more completely. And then you can always re-straighten. Even face the top of your head towards the floor so that you can feel gravity working. If that's in your wheelhouse. Good, and then slowly roll up to standing. And stretch your arms up. Feel that length. On your next exhale, bend the elbows, lift your heart, look up at the ceiling, but with that nice long back of neck. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms up again. And exhale, bring the hands down. Okay, stand on your right foot. We're going to do a quad stretch. So lift your left heel, and then maybe if you're feeling balanced, find the foot. Knee beside knee if possible, knee pointing down. And then just think to yourself, long spine, and stretch up a little taller. Draw your low belly up, sits bones stay back. Breathe. And release. Good. Switch sides. Sometimes when we first start in a balance, it's really hard. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I remember doing this before. So lift the right heel, find balance as you find the foot. And then gradually lengthen up. And breathe. Wow, nice, you guys. Stretch your arms up again. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, fold forward. Feel the big toe mounds, feel the little toe mounds. Feel the heels. And then just how you got there, walk your hands back out. If you're on the blocks, it's okay. You can find your hands back on the blocks in downward facing dog. And then step your feet forward between the blocks to a forward fold there. Inhale, pranam. Really feel that long spine, long back of neck, length through the top of the head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, feel the length as you sweep your arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch it up. Feel the length and exhale, hands through heart center. Okay, now we're just gonna flow a little bit. So inhale, stretch it up. Take time to feel the length. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, pranam. And exhale, fold. Step the left foot back to deep lunge. Keep the right foot and knee exactly as it is. Lift the arch a little bit, feel grounded through that. And then on your next inhale, lift the left heel super high. Nothing changes in the right leg really. And then stretch it long on the exhale. And do that one more time. Inhale, lift it high. And exhale, lower. Now this inhale, lift the heel high, slide the hips back so the right hip crease moves back, your right leg straightens. You might need the higher height with your blocks, you decide. And then just feel that pyramid pose. Keep that long spine as you might fold deeper over the leg or not. Might stretch deeper through the heel or not. Take a few breaths. Good. On your next inhale, bend the front knee and step back, downward facing dog. You can stay on the blocks, that's totally fine. And please extend the left leg. Keep everything square. Maybe you need to take a baby bend in the knee. Bend the left knee, flex the foot, and then open the left hip up. So it's kind of stacked on the right hip. Keep the right armpit lifted. Wild dog. Yeah, good, you guys. Square up the hips. Step that foot through, deep lunge. Good. And then lift the heel high on the inhale. Left hip crease stays back as you stretch. One more time, lift it high. Feel all 5 toes engaging and stretch. And then on the next inhale, slide the hips back as you lift. Straighten the left leg. You may not straighten all the way, that's totally fine. Think long spine. Everything stays square to the front. And then if you choose to go deeper, you can. Just go with your breath. Go, stay present. Just a good stretch for me? Do I want to go deeper? Maybe I don't. Good. On your next inhale, bend the front knee and step forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find the length as you stretch all the way up and extend your arms. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch it up. And exhale, hands through heart center. As you bring your hands in front of your face, close your eyes for a moment and pause there. Ask yourself, am I staying present? Is my mind wandering? Am I wondering what's going to happen next? Or can I stay totally present? Good. Stretch your arms up again. Open your eyes as you do. Feel the length. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step the right foot back first to deep lunge. Make sure you have plenty of distance between your feet because I want you to feel stable. The hips stay square. And then slowly lift up to a crescent warrior position. And stretch the arms up to feel the length. Feel the connection. Feel your core engaged. And then on your next inhale, think really tall. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch it back up. And exhale, touch down, deep lunge. Good, step back, downward facing dog. And extend the right leg. Bend the knee. Remember all that hamstring work, flex the foot, open up. Wild dog. Square the hips, step the foot through, deep lunge. Finding your balance, make your way up, crescent warrior. Don't stretch your arms till you feel like, oh, I'm balanced. I feel weight in all parts of my front foot, my back foot's grounding me. I feel balanced. On your next inhale, feel really tall. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, touch down. Nice, you guys. Move the blocks out of the way. Step back to a downward facing dog. Even here, do you feel like your head just drops or maybe your chin drops? Can you get longer through the top of your head? And then come forward to plank and lower to the mat. Inhale, come to cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, downward facing dog. And just step your feet up to your hands, forward fold. Next, inhale, pranam. Extend long, feel that connection. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep the arms, feel really tall. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And fold. If you're wanting to use your blocks, please put them back by your feet. Step your left foot back, deep lunge. Ground the back foot down and come up to a warrior two position and just kind of, you don't have to add your arms yet. I just want you to kind of check, be mindful, be present. How does that feel? And then stretch your arms up, think long spine. Make sure the knees tracking straight, good. And then bring the arms to warrior two. So even in this pose, you can feel length and connection in the core, even though the sits bones are moving back. Maybe you can even bend a little deeper. On your next inhale, stretch the arms up again. Straighten the right leg. And exhale, arms back to T, come to triangle. Just take your time and just notice your nice long spine, your nice connected neck. All shoulders on the back, lengthening. Good. Look at the floor, bend your front knee. Come down to that deep lunge position. And please step forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, feel the length as you stretch your arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your right foot back now. Deep lunge, ground it down. You know the score. Come up, warrior two, just kind of noticing, connecting, and then stretch the arms up. So you can feel the connection in your core and the length through the back of the neck, through the top of the head, and then bring the arms down, warrior two. Can you feel the back foot really grounding you? Maybe bend a little deeper. Wow, you guys look awesome. I'm sure you do at home too. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms up, straighten the left leg. And exhale, feeling the length, fold into triangle. I always find myself jutting my chin out. You come a little higher, you can feel more connection through the shoulders, through the back, and you can lengthen to the back of the neck. Good. Nice, you guys. Look at the floor, bend your front knee, touch down. Turn the heel up, move the blocks so you can step back to down dog without the blocks. And then come forward to plank. Lower to the mat. You can always lower knees first if you're not feeling it. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, downward facing dog. And step your feet to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, stretch the arms up, feel the length. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch it up. And this time, just bring hands through heart center. Close your eyes for a moment, pause, and breathe, and be present. Give yourself a few kudos for all you've done so far. Send some love to everybody else in the room and at home. Good. On your next inhale, open the eyes, stretch up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And fold. Now I'm using my blocks for this next one. We're going to Ardha Chandrasana, and I might give you the opportunity to add Chapasana to it, a little back bending. So please step your right foot back, deep lunge, ground the back foot down, bring your right hand to your hip. So this feels a lot like, so turn your belly inward. Feel like, okay, this feels a lot like Utthita Parshva-Konasana. Okay, now to transition, just slide your right foot up and bring the block out to where you feel like it's gonna support you. This. And then feeling the length in your spine in this variation, lift the back foot. Now you might have to adjust the block because you want the weight right in the middle of your left foot. If you're going to Chapasana, bend the right knee, reach back with your right hand, and then see if you can open up into a little back bend. Kick it back. Ooh, nice, you guys. And then release it. And ooh, touchdown. Slide. I found that point. And then please turn the back heel up. Step forward to switch. So left foot back, deep lunge, ground down. If you can keep the hand on the block, great. Open up, Parshva-Konasana, side angle pose. So it's kind of a process. Just slide the left foot forward, slide the block out or the hand, feel the weight, and then feel the length as you lift into Ardha Chandrasana. If you're going to Chapasana, bend the left knee, find the foot, and just open up the heart. That's the key. Try to get the weight in the foot, not in the hand, because that's going to throw you out of balance. Because I just did that. Good. And then extend it out. Bend the front knee. Find deep lunge again. And move the blocks to step back, downward facing Adho Mukha Svanasana. That was intense, but fun. Come forward to plank, lower to the mat, cobra, and lower. Good. Now come up on your elbows. Just gonna stretch the quads a little more. So I like to have my elbows slightly in front of my shoulders. I don't know why, it just feels better to me. Make a fist with your left hand, swivel the forearm in front of you so that you can feel like you're lengthening your spine. So I kind of feel like I'm pulling forward. Bend the right knee, see if you can find the right foot. Now be careful with your right shoulder. Think long side body, head of the arm bone back. And then see about stretching the quad a little more. Make sure the knees not splaying out a little bit. Feel a stretch. Good, release. Bring the elbows back normal. Take that in. Hopefully it didn't feel bad in your back. You don't want it to. And if it's too intense, it's okay. Make a fist with your right hand. Swivel it in, pull forward, think length and connection. Find the foot. Try to keep that left shoulder safe by keeping it in the socket and back. Pull forward. And release. Come on down. With your forehead on the floor, we're going to go to Dhanurasana, which is boat pose. So bring your arms back. Now, one thing, if you can't find your feet, you can do this with your hands by your chest. So it's going to look like this. You're going to bend your knees, flex your feet, and then just lift up to cobra like this. Feels a little more intense on your back. And then come on down. If you're going to full Dhanurasana, you just find your feet. I like to kind of press my knees down to think sits bones back, but then draw the low belly up, draw the chin back, kick back, Dhanurasana. Lift the head and the chest first, lengthen through the top of the head, and then maybe add a lift in the knees. You can rock back and forth if you want. And release. Bring your hands under your forehead. And breathe. Notice your heart rate. That pose is intense, so it stretches just about everything. So just for fun, let's do it again. The forehead down. I like to do it that way because then I remember to lengthen through the top of my head. Bend the knees, find the feet or ankles, depending on the length of your arms. And go ahead and kick back. Just see how it feels. You should feel no pinchiness in your back if you're really engaging and lengthening. So lengthen first and then curve. One more breath. And release it. Good. Bring your hands by your chest and push all the way back to child's pose. That feels good, right? Being present. Just notice how it feels to kind of stretch the opposite way that you just did. And then come on up and come to a seated position. If you want to use the blanket, you have tighter hamstrings, use the blanket. Otherwise, just come to a wide stance with your feet. And we're not going too intense here. So you might want to inner spiral if things don't look like they're engaged. Stretch your arms up. Feel that length and connection, and then fold forward. And don't make it as deep as you can. Just think, I want to find that long spine, even through back of my neck long. And then slowly walk to the right leg, hand on either side, just kind of notice. Feel the left leg really hasn't changed at all, just engaging. And then walk back through the center to the other side. Feel the right leg grounded. And then come on back up. Bring the feet together. You might want to scooch forward on the mat so that you can lay down and your head still stays on the mat. Like that. And bring the feet right underneath your knees. You guys guessed it. We're going to go to Setu Bandha or bridge pose. But I want you to still feel that lengthening. Feel the lengthening first. And then think, oh, can I bring the head of the arm bones back a little bit so my heart lifts a little bit? Press into the feet, lift the hips. Feel that length. Feel the connection. Even lifting the chin so you can feel the length through the top of the head, and you really feel the back of the head pressing down now, which connects, of course, to your core. You can interlace your hands if you want to. If you're able to keep your arms full length, sometimes that feels good. Breathe. And move your hands and release. Now I'm going to give you 3 options here. You can do supported Setu Bandha with a block. You can do just what we did before, regular Setu Bandha. Or if you want to come to back bend, Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can do that. You're warm enough. You can try it. So your choice. Just set up for it. And just keep thinking every time that you want the long spine first, and then you lift the heart. With that length in your spine, it's easier. Keep the core connected. Lift to whatever trips your trigger. Take a few breaths. Really nice, you guys. So you can get your heart up even a little more. And then lower all the way back down. Just soak it in. Staying present. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. And even here, I like to roll around and just think, wow, can I lengthen my lumbar out in this position? Good, and then bring the knees a little wider towards your armpits. And then just slightly away from you so that you can feel a little curve in your low back. And then just stretch the feet up and flex them. Your knees are still bent. Stretch your arms up. Think of long spine, and then reach for your ankles or your feet for happy baby pose. Just thinking long spine, long through the top of the head. Tuck the feet into the hands, but just resist with the hands. You can roll side to side. Happy baby. Excuse me. And then let go of your feet, but keep them in that wide position and just bring them down to the mat, right under the knees. Arms to cactus. And just do a few windshield wipers. Staying present, noticing the calming effect. Just kind of mindless moving. And then when you feel evened out, bring the knees up, bring the soles of the feet together, the knees open. Just take a few moments there. And when you're ready, you don't have to, but when you're ready, close your knees and stretch out for Shavasana. And just notice when you get there, all the parts that are touching the floor, which is a lot of the backside of your body. And just relax into it. Just know the floor will support you and you can relax into it. And relax your eyeballs. Relax your lower jaw. Relax your glutes. Your kneecaps. Relax the soles of your feet. And a really good way to stay present is just to focus in on your senses. We'll start with your sense of hearing. Be appreciative that you can hear. Just notice any sounds far away from you. And then slowly bring it in closer, maybe to your breath, possibly even to the heartbeat. And then switch to your sense of smell. Maybe there's no smells at the moment. Maybe there is. Maybe you can still smell what you had for breakfast or your cup of coffee. Be appreciative of all the things that you do smell with your nose, good and bad. A wonderful sense. And then turn to the sense of taste. All the beautiful tastes in foods. Last night, Will brought us some salsa that was supposed to be the hottest ever salsa, natural salsa. And it was, I can still feel the burn from that. And maybe turn your thoughts to the sense of touch. You already noticed where you're touching the floor. Maybe you can feel the air on your skin, or the texture of your clothes or your mat. And finally, your sense of sight. So even though your eyes are closed, maybe you can see something on the back of your eyelids. Or maybe you can remember something beautiful that you've seen. And visualize it. Which other sense you'd like to pay attention to? Maybe you can use all of them. Keep noticing your sense, your breath. As you continue to relax, I just wanted to share a blessing from Julia Cameron. Divine presence is the foundation of my life. It is solid and unshakable. It is permanent, eternal, and always present. I am the recipient of great goodwill. This goodwill is timeless and unchanging. There is a benevolent force which intends me good and expansion. I receive blessings from many quarters. My good comes to me from all directions and at all times. I rest in divine love as my fortress. I am surrounded by good. Good upholds me and is my strength. In all my endeavors, in all my affairs, good unfolds and prospers me. Good blesses all my relationships. My spirit and my life are one with the benevolent force of the universe. Being totally present and aware of your breath. Feel the energy that it brings. Always present. Start to move in small ways, wiggling fingers when you feel ready. Take your time. Toes. Just taking your time to transition on up to seated. When you get there, take a moment to really take in how long your spine feels. Just bring hands to heart center. Thank you guys for practicing. Appreciate it. I bow to that beautiful light that is shining from you. Namaste. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Thanks. I know it.